Good morning. It's 11:48 on the 3rd of October 2024. And I wanted to talk about perspective because I saw a video in Spanish with a Spanish psychologist talking about perspective. And she was showing a dice, a dice, right, with a moon on, where she was showing, I think, a number 6 or something, but it's the same principle. And what can you see? You can see a moon. And sometimes it's very hard to see the other perspective. What is the other perspective? And the other perspective might be a magic wand. And I was thinking about that in particular with regards to what happened to me at the weekend, because I was on a philosophy call on the internet talking about philosophy. And I can't actually remember the subject now, but there was a new person there in the call, and I was running the call, and I said, please raise your electronic hands if you want to speak, because that's what we normally do. In order for people not to interrupt, people have to raise their hands. And this lady was late, so she didn't know the rules, and then she saw that I was speaking without raising my hand, but it was because I was running the call. So every now and then, when somebody had finished speaking, I would just give my tuppence worth, and then the other people would be speaking. And apart from that, the call went fine. And then at the end of the call, I saw on Meetup webpage that she had written that I was saying things like I corrected the name of Descartes, which is a French philosopher, because we're talking actually about Descartes. And I corrected that name because somebody said it was Descartes, and because I lived in France for 20 years, I said, no, it's Descartes. Anyway, she wasn't happy about that. And then she called me on the Meetup webpage in the comments, neurotic. She called me neurotic. And at first I was very offended by that, to be called neurotic, because neurotic kind of means when you're not really into your emotions and connected with your emotions and just very much in your head, right? That's what I believe neurotic to be, or from that description. But and I thought about it, and I thought about, well, what is the hypothesis? What is the kind of sorry, I'm dropping the dice. What is the hypothesis on the other end of the dice, the other side of the dice? How can I see the magic wand and not the moon? And because without a hypothesis, an explanation of why she was using this kind of language, I didn't have a way of explaining it to myself. And then I thought maybe she's just, because she was from a different culture, I think maybe she's just from a different culture. And in that culture, they use words like, she was using words like loony house as well, instead of psychiatric hospital. And I was thinking, well, maybe she's just from the culture, and it's just the culture that is to blame, because I believe to a certain extent in determinism as well. Not everything is as much free will as we might think, even though I hope there's a little bit of free will there. But we're very much determined by our culture. And so in order to sort of forgive this person, I think I have to think about, well, maybe what hypothesis could I come to explain her behavior? And I guess it would be that she comes from a culture where she's really unaware that this kind of thing is not really what is considered correct in psychology these days, right? Psychology or psychiatry, and that kind of language really, from one perspective, from my perspective, from a kind of psychiatrist or psychologist perspective, I guess would be unacceptable. So that's what I wanted to say today. Just thinking about the perspective, how to see the magic wand and not to see the moon. Thank you, guys.